Hello.
Hello, so welcome to another edition of FFRF's Ask an Atheist on Facebook Live. I'm Dan Barker, and you can see Andrew Seidel.
I'm Andrew Seidel. Yeah, this is not just a new edition. This is the pandemic edition of Ask an Atheist, I think.
And it's actually April Fool's Day, but we're not fooling. We're doing the show for the first time remotely from our home. I'm in my office. I'm still the man upstairs. And Andrew's in his home office.
I am, and we hung some art for the occasion, and we're still going to be taking questions. This is still Ask an Atheist. If you've got questions, go ahead and comment right here on the Facebook page. Normally we do have the email address, but we're not going to use that today. Just comment.
So that's some of your art, Andrew?
What's that? Oh, yeah.
That's some of your art in the background.
So this guy is a landscape from White Sands, New Mexico. There's 3 of those. You can't see the other ones. And then this guy is actually a calla lily from Versailles, from Marie Antoinette's Petite Trianon.
That's a picture you took, right?
Yeah, both of these are pictures I took. They both in galleries and brought home.
So in a minute, we're going to introduce Leighann Lord, as we told you, the very funny lady working from home, the comedian. And she will have some comments. So hi, Leighann, I see you there. And
I'm really excited to talk with Leighann because I think we all need a good smile and laugh.
Yeah, on this time. But before we laugh, we want to talk about some serious things. And by the way, I'm co-president of FFRF, and Andrew is director of strategic response, right?
You got it.
Yeah, I got it. So hang with us, Leighann. We'll introduce you in a second. First of all, my brother Daryl sent a graph. I don't know where he got it, but it shows what has happened with the pandemic since President Trump declared a National Day of Prayer on March the 15th, on the Ides of March. You see there that graph, how the deaths were going up. And on March 15th, we had the National Day of Prayer. And then what happened?
It's almost as if prayer doesn't work, man.
What? Well, you know what you could say is that if he hadn't prayed, that graph would have gone straight up. Instead, it's only gone up this far, right? Is that what?
I mean, another interpretation is that prayer kills.
Ah. Well, and you could make a case for that, because if you pray and don't work and don't do scientific measures, then prayer does kill.
And I think we can make a really strong case for that if we look at, for instance, gun control. I mean, thoughts and prayers, rather than passing gun laws, have absolutely killed people. So, joke turns out to be true.
So another issue is that Catholic blowhard, what do you call him? A bloviator, Bill Donahue.
Bloviating Bill.
Who attacked the Freedom from Religion Foundation viciously and incorrectly. And Andrew, you wrote a blog. Can you briefly tell us what your blog's about?
I mean, sure. So if everybody remembers, Mike Pence, in his official capacity as vice president, told people to donate to churches. And so FFRF protested that. We wrote a letter, a statement. And Bill Donahue got very upset with us. And he wrote a little blog that managed to get just about everything wrong. The first paragraph was remarkable. Everything was wrong in it. You have to almost try to be that wrong. So I couldn't let this one pass. I had to rebut bloviating Bill.
So didn't he say that FFRF is trying to remove all religion from all public life in our country?
Yeah, he said that our impulses were totalitarian, that we hate religion, and that we would remove all religious expression if we had the power to do that, which is simply false
Yeah.
and malicious.
Well, I happen to know that Bill Donahue gets, you can look it up online on 990 form. His annual salary is over 450,000 a year. He gets paid that to go on TV and just badmouth what he calls anti-Catholics. So look it up if
Wow.
you don't believe that. That's a little bit more than you make, Ken.
Just a touch.
So, Bruce, by the way, can we see Bruce and Buzz in the studio there? Do you have a feed that we can see you guys in there?
Hey
There you
guys.
are. There's Bruce. Bruce is our video director in the back there. And up close is Buzz Kemper. You guys are kind of close for the social distancing.
Definitely not social distancing. There we go.
We're going to have to lock you in that control room for 2 weeks together.
Anyway.
Can you talk to us?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we can indeed.
Oh.
Hello there.
Hi,
So
everybody.
you're washing your hands and sterilizing everything?
Yeah,
Constantly.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Every time I get near Bruce, I boil my hands.
Let's move to the next
well,
graphic.
you've been doing that all.
Let's go to the next
So, and
graphic.
that's the studio in FFRF Breakout Hall at Madison, Wisconsin. You're making all this magic happen. So before we bring Leighann on, there's more issue. It's about these preachers who are ignoring the stay-at-home order. One of them is this guy in Florida. Andrew, you know about this story.
Yeah, this is Pastor Howard Brown, I believe his name, Rodney Howard Brown. He's a remarkable, nice word, I guess, mega preacher. He has said things like he has 13 machines in his church that will kill all the germs and people can go ahead and come worship there. He said that if you just have enough faith, your rolls of toilet paper will multiply, which obviously is not going to happen. And he is still having church services down at his, I think it's the River Church in Tampa Bay. And he was arrested by the Hillsborough County Sheriff. And he's being charged with violating stay-at-home orders and the bans on large gatherings. He's not the only one. We just found out this morning about another preacher at a megachurch in Louisiana who has also been arrested and charged with 6 counts of misdemeanor violating these rules. So we're seeing enforcement of these stay-at-home orders, these bans on large gatherings against churches and religious leaders. Absolutely, 100%, without doubt, the right call. And Dan lost audio. So, I'll talk a little bit about why it's the right call. Because I think people may say, well, what about religious freedom? Don't they have a religious freedom right to gather and worship? Yes, they do. They don't have a right to others' lives. And they, just like they don't have a right to discriminate that's based in religion, they don't have a right to risk others' lives and to try to overwhelm our medical system. Every right that we have under the First Amendment is limited in some way. Right? You have free speech. You don't get to slander other people, fight violence, or even electioneer within 50 feet of a polling place, for instance. So all our First Amendment rights are limited. And when the government interest is high, the rights can be more. And preventing a pandemic is about as high as the government. So this is absolutely the right culture to not have a First Amendment right, either in assembly or religious exercise, to violate. And they need to be enforced.
Well, that's kind of common sense, isn't it? It's also hypocritical. It's hypocritical, too, because the New Testament tells Christians, and this pastor should know this, to be subject to every ordinance of man. That means that this ordinance to stay at home or this law to stay, they need to obey it. Otherwise, they're just unviable.
I also think
they should be staying at home.
It's straight up immoral. thing that you and Annie Lord
Yeah.
pointed out in your letter to every governor in the country, saying that churches can't be laws. You pointed out that it's immoral for churches to not adhere to and orders.
So, as you can tell, we are obeying the law. Andrew and I are staying at home. All of the FFR staff are working remotely, except I don't know about Buzz and Bruce in there, but they're remote people. Another person who's working from home now is our friend, the well-known comic Leighann Lord, who's been patiently waiting for us here. Leighann Lord is the very funny lady. In fact, the webpage is veryfunnylady.com. Is that right, Leighann?
Yes, that is correct. That is
Very
correct.
funny lady. And you've seen her on HBO, you've seen her on Comedy Central, you've seen her on ABC, NBC, CBS. There's too long of a list. She's performed in comedy clubs all over the country, all over the world. I don't suspect you're on a world tour right now, Leighann. You're staying at home.
No, it's pretty much a virtual tour.
A virtual tour. So you've been producing some, what do you call them, stay-at-home comedy?
I have. It was I guess it started out as a lark, and I'm like, oh no, we really are working from home. I said, I'll do it. I'll do it in my own office. I'll throw up a curtain. I'll do jokes to the camera, and I'll see if people like it. And
Well, can we watch let's watch one of those, just a little bit of one of those that you just did.
please.
Hey everybody, this is Leighann Lord and welcome to my at-home comedy club. I am coming to you from my home in New York City, which at the moment is the national epicenter of the pandemic. And I want to take you back. I want to take you way back to 2019. Do you remember how 2019 was so bad that we kind of pinned our hopes and dreams on a better and brighter 2020? Well, apparently 2020 was like, a word, hold my beer. Or to be commensurate with the current goings on, hold my corona. Now, what I really want to know is that if we are all working from home, how are we showing up to work late? Now, I am not exempting myself from this. I'm late. Like this show, I was supposed to start this show an hour ago. I am not on time. But in my defense, the traffic between the couch and the kitchen is just horrific. Like it was an accident right by my refrigerator, and it took 45 minutes to clear that up. Whew, it was delicious. And now, right now, I want to give a shout out to my working at home human resources department. They've honestly been trying to boost morale. And so they've instituted a couple of new policies around here. We now have Margarita Mondays, Tanqueray Tuesdays, Wine It Up Wednesdays, Tequila Thursdays, and my personal favorite, Fireball Fridays, everybody. Now, we may not be getting any work done, but we damn sure get it in.
So today's Wind It Up Wednesday, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, I'll be breaking out a favorite bottle of wine
After the show.
because I haven't already.
So I should tell our viewers that you performed at our convention as well in San Francisco.
Yes.
Very funny. And are you still working with Neil deGrasse Tyson?
No, I was, that's where a lot of people know me from, where I got introduced to the community in a grand scale, but I was one of his earlier co-hosts on the podcast, which was Star Talk. And I did an episode of the TV show.
Yeah.
Now, Leighann, I have a question for you because you're a stand-up and you feed off audience energy, right? And you read the audience as you're doing this. So how is it just speaking to your computer? BBC moment.
Yeah, right. Well, part of it is I've been doing this for so long, I have a sense of timing. And so I sort of fill in. But it's also a bit nostalgic. It reminds me of when I first started. I was going to open mics. There was no audience there either. Nobody to laugh. So, I'm feeling like the beginning of my career. And I now still have the voices in my head who also fill in. And they're kind of telling me, we told you so. We told you you'd be back. And here we are. We're here for you.
So you're not alone. You've got the voices in your head to keep you company.
I've
They're
got the
your
voices
audience.
in my head. I've got my cat who made things very interesting for me about 5 minutes ago. I don't know when he'll be back.
Well, we hope we see him in a minute here. So we've
No,
been
you
hearing
don't.
a lot about the effect of the pandemic on the gig economy. People who don't have like what you might call a regular 9 to 5, but they just gig at night, musicians and artists and stand-up comics. So how are you dealing with this? You're stuck at home and you're doing some videos, but what's happening with your friends? And you had to cancel some gigs and all of that?
Well, I canceled gigs out of concern because I have a 2-family home, and in that home is my elderly mother. So I've also got to worry about whether or not if I'm bringing something into the house. But the majority of my gigs were canceled ahead of time, and as far out as July. And I shouldn't complain. There are, as you said, so many workers, so many entertainers, so many folks in the gig economy who were all scratching our heads like, what are we doing? And everybody's trying to make sense of it. And what happens when it's done? Who survives this? I don't mean in a life or death way. I mean in a career way. We don't know. So that's why I started the Working from Home Comedy Club. I've been posting videos. I've been, I still have that urge to perform. I still have that inclination to laugh and take their minds off of what's happening or to even laugh about what's happening. And I've been very blunt. If you've enjoyed what I'm doing and you can, please contribute. And I list my PayPal, my Venue, my Cash App. And I've been pleasantly surprised by how many people have said, yes, thank you for what you do. Here's a PayPal. Here's something. And I can't pay the mortgage on that.
Hey, Leighann.
But it is comforting to know that people support me.
Leighann, feel free to tell us
Yes.
what those are right now. I would have made a graphic had I thought.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Yeah, no, I am on PayPal, and that's Leighann Lord altogether. I'm also on Cash App, which is for the young folks. And if they have that app, it's the $ and my name, Leighann Lord, and Venmo is Leighann-Lord. And if they didn't catch that, that's fine. It's right there on my website, veryfunnylady.com. And I'm very
So
clear.
there's no cover
This is
charge.
only if you can. Yeah, I tell people, listen, when I'm performing on the internet, I'm posting memes, I'm posting jokes. There's no cover charge. There's no 2-drink minimum. Whatever you feel you can contribute. And people have done that. And that's how
Well,
you
and
can
it
support
really
other
is.
artists that you like.
It really is so important to support not just the artists you like, but the organizations that you appreciate
Yes.
and just our fellow humans during this time. It's
Yes.
to come together while being apart is so important.
I'm in a group, well, so many Facebook groups, and everybody's trying to do something. Everybody's trying to do their part. They started something called Takeout Tuesday, where that's the day you order takeout to support local restaurants. All they have now is in takeout. And I'm going to pretend that I'm not doing that every night.
So you're kind of holed up in New York City. You're in an apartment there. Some of our members in New York City, Sherry Chapin, for example, who might be watching, she says it's a lot of reading, it's a lot of TV, but she would rather have cabin fever than corona fever. What's the mood in the city
Totally.
that you can just assess?
Um, I haven't been out in it. My city sort of has become Facebook, and I think people are vacillating between, oh, I'm home, I can get it all done, whatever it is. Cleaning the house from top to bottom, reorganizing, and then on the other end, I'm gonna sit here and watch Netflix. And I think both things are doable.
And I think it's hard too because there's zero work-life balance when your work is your
Oh,
home and everything is in one
right.
place. I mean, my time clock yesterday was 7:20 a.m. to 8 p.m. and I was more exhausted than I'd been in a really long time. It's almost harder to have a
Yes.
work-life balance when everything is really in this one place.
I think, and I'm speaking for me, maybe people can concur. My sense of time is off.
Yeah.
An hour feels like a day feels like a week. I get to Wednesday and I'm like, we're not done yet. And I also want to go back and give you another answer about the mood in New York. I think most of us we're no longer watching the presidential briefing. I mean, for entertainment value, and if you want to be angry, you watch that. But if you want real information, it's that Cuomo press briefing. I'm there for it every day.
Wow. Well, it's a real world problem. It's not prayer and Bible and all that. Solve it. On your webpage, you have a fun list of 10 fun facts about me in no particular order.
I wonder if any of
And
them are still true.
on the last one, you say 10. I'm not religious. I'd like to describe myself as humanist, but beings are a hard species to love. So I guess that makes me a dogist. Life is better with a friend.
Okay.
You too, cat people. But you have a cat, not a dog.
I have a cat now, and that's relatively new. We discovered each other, and I adopted him last September, and he is the very little love of my life.
I like that you discovered each other. That's apt description
Yeah.
of a relationship.
And now here's what's weird. People think that I'm a cat person. No, I like this dude. He's amazing. I can't. He is a fine representative of his species, but I don't know.
And what's his name?
Oh, my cat's name is Sir, as
Sir.
in to serve with love. And good morning, sir. What are you doing, sir? Stop biting me, sir.
It's a very formal household. It's like Downton Abbey.
It's a very formal household. And
How about-
when I'm mad at him, it's just cats.
Well, how about to purr with love?
Yeah, I'm single, so I don't know about that. There's
Uh,
been no to her with love. And the pandemic has certainly not improved that.
Now, we've got questions coming in, and if anybody's got questions for Leighann, please feel free to ask those in the comments as well. And we'll get to those in just a minute. But now, Leighann, you're a fan of Star Trek, if I remember. Is that right?
Say that again?
You're a fan of Star Trek, if I remember.
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah. So I was wondering if you're burning through on all the streaming services now. 'Cause you get, I don't remember which one it is. You get all the Star Trek series and episodes.
Well, you can get many on Netflix, all of them on CBS All Access.
That's the one.
And yeah, I'm burning through.
well, you remember.
I was actually in the middle, season 6 of watching Star Trek Space Nine, and quite surprised on how many episodes I missed. So it's almost like enjoying it for the first time. And then I
Nice.
stopped and switched over to Picard, which I burned through in a day and a half. So what's a girl to do except rewatch Star Trek Discovery for the was there
So
was
you're
there a
breaking
real
up a
question
little
there, or
bit there.
did you want me to just gush about Star Trek?
I just wanted to hear you gush. That was it.
You remember,
Okay,
Leanne,
'cause
that
I
we
could
met
go on ad nauseam.
John Delancey in San
Yes.
Francisco. And John Delancey played, what did he play? Q, the God character.
He played Q
On,
on both on Next Generation and DS9.
So an atheist playing a godlike character.
Oh, that has to be so much fun.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, when I first met him, I apologized. I was wearing my Star Trek necklace. I don't know if you guys see it. And I said, you know what this is. You are very accomplished. You're very talented, sir. But my introduction to you is Star Trek. So can you accept my fangirl? And he was like, oh, sure.
So
So
we've
do
got
we
a
have
couple
questions, Andrew?
rolling in. Yeah, Dan, this one is actually from, I think somebody you'll probably recognize, young fellow named Dan Parker. Familiar with him at
Oh,
all?
well, my son's probably watching. Daniel T. Parker. Hi, Dan.
He is.
Uh,
So Dan asks, can you guys go over a bit about the pillow guy and how he forced his faith on Americans during Trump's announcement? How illegal were his actions, and can we do something to hold him accountable?
Well, don't buy his pillows. We're sending a letter today to the company. You know, Mr. Pillow, that big company that's popular. He was invited to speak at a White House press conference on the coronavirus task force 2 days ago, I think. And in the middle of it, he turned to Trump and said, could I say some extemporaneous remarks? And then he started pushing Bible reading and faith and turning to and our country fell apart with secular values. So we wrote a letter to his company complaining about that. You helped us, Andrew. Pointing out, among other things, besides, at the end of the letter, we pointed out that there's a Bible verse where God says, I am against your pillows. That's actually a verse in the Bible. So it was talking about false prophets. And in our letter, we accused him of being a false American. He's falsely mixing state and church. He's falsely promoting a so-called good book. It's not a good book, and so on. So I don't know, Dan, if you have any of his pillows. Put them out in the playhouse.
I'm actually quite offended because his time up there is cutting into my precious Dr. Fauci time.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally who I turn in to listen to. And when he's done talking, I'm done listening.
And, you know, if you watch it, he knew what he was doing was wrong. He turns to Trump and says, can I read some off-the-cuff remark? And so he asked permission to go off of an approved script. And he didn't, they weren't extemporaneous. He was actually reading from his notes. So he had his remarks. So, you know, and the fact that he turned and asked for permission tells me he knew what he was doing wrong. And Leighann, I couldn't agree more. People are tuning into this for information about how to survive a pandemic.
Mhm.
And this guy is up there shilling for his personal religion, acting like an infomercial for one of his pillows. It was wildly inappropriate.
Agreed.
Well,
So we got
enough
another
pillow talk here.
No, don't. No,
So
no
this is-
more pillow talk. This is the only pillow talk I'm getting.
Is it? You and your cat, huh?
Yeah, who insists actually on sharing my pillow.
Hey, we should have a survey. I think we've talked about this, Andrew. Are atheists more likely to be cat people or dog people? What do you think?
I think the data would show that they're more likely to be cat people. I am allergic to
I'm
cats.
going to agree with that.
You wouldn't
what do
agree with
you
it,
think?
Leanne?
No, I do agree. I do.
Oh, okay.
Now, I mean, I came into this as a dog person, but I totally can see the appeal of a cat and matching characteristics.
Well,
I can
maybe
gather
it's
together
because
for a little while, and then I need my space.
we atheists don't have a God to worship, and dogs worship us. So if we're going to worship something, it better well be a cat who doesn't
His
worship
Majesty would agree.
us.
I'm a dog person, always have been, but just for the personal experience, it seems like every atheist I know is a cat person. Now, on the not pet front, Andre D'Souza asks, one thing that religious people don't seem to get is that if everything is according to their God's will, and isn't praying for the virus to go away going against God's divine plan. Dan, you want to do that one?
Seems like there should be a joke in there somewhere. Yeah, it
Okay,
says,
then
"Thy
Leanne,
will
you wanna
be
fill that
done." The Lord's Prayer says, "Thy will."
I'm just stunned on the
be
fact
done.
that you're using logic here.
Yeah. Oh, you don't think religion and logic go together?
I'm going to say no.
Why so tentative?
So yeah, that
No,
is
that's
kind of a
involved. Like, is
philosophical.
that rhetorical?
It's a theological question. If God's in control, then why does it matter what we ask him to do? He's going to do what he wants. Maybe he just enjoys watching us ask, like a king with the subject, knowing very well I'm not going to pay any attention to you, but you need to grovel before me and ask me for what you want. I'm still going to do what I want, but it proves to me that you love me.
God is sounding more and more like a cat.
Now,
Or an abusive husband.
Or wife.
Yeah. Any more questions?
okay, now we
Andrew?
have a comment that insists that it's serious. It does seem a little troll-ish. FFRF is attacking the world leader. It's not really, I'm going to refer a little here to Mr. Is FFRF attacking the world leaders really the best response to the COVID-19 pandemic? Is this organization doing anything to help individuals? I'm really curious as to how you're helping.
Well, there's a famous saying by Robert Ingersoll that the person who pulls up the weeds is just as much a gardener as the person who plants the seeds. So you need both. You need to resist damaging things, plus contribute to positive things in the world. So it's a two-sided question. How does this questioner know that we non-believers are not proactively reaching out to help people in the world?
Well, and one of the best things that everybody can do right now is practice social distancing and adhere to the orders banning large gatherings. And FFRF went remote very early, a couple weeks ago, and we have been doing our damnedest to ensure that governments are enforcing these bans and these orders against churches and religious groups, which is directly contributing to preventing the spread of this disease. That work is. So yes, I think we are actually out there helping, and you can point to some of the work that our legal team is doing that is actually helping us spread the scope of COVID.
Yeah. I'm actually going to admit that I'm feeling very lazy because I'm doing the least. I'm staying home. But I also realize what a privileged position that is when you have people who absolutely have to go to work to survive. When, you tell people to go home and there's no home for them to go to. And so this pandemic is exposing the chasm, economic, social, and medical in our culture and in our country. And I'm hoping that's going to get fixed. The comic in me is like, you know better.
But I think you're right. It has exposed the vulnerable point and a lot of the of American and how we treat. I think you're absolutely right. And we should also take a moment to recognize all the people who are working in the medical community field right now to treat people with not enough equipment and putting their own lives at risk to try to heal others. We have a number of FFRF spouses, are doctors and nurses, and they are out there every day risking their lives, save lives. And I am all of people who are willing to do that.
I admire these folks as well. I don't even have that impulse. I don't even want to put on my own Band-Aid.
So, Leighann, a lot of people are having to stay home to take care of their kids because there's no childcare, and that's related to the pandemic. But you have a section on your webpage about how you are now the parent taking care of your own parent. You say you're living with your mom right now. So that's a responsible thing to keep her healthy.
Well, yeah, now, full disclosure, we've been together my whole life. We have a 2-family house. And the biggest difference is I'm in charge now. It's my house. I'm the one making the decisions. And yes, part of that is keeping her safe. She's not able. My mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's back in 2015. And then I lost my dad last year. And I'm like, oh, crap, I'm in charge. So, keeping the lights on, keeping the food in the house, making sure the taxes are paid. I'm like, is this what grown-ups do? I don't like it.
Well, and now it must be very difficult with the gig economy. You wrote on your webpage that you're not the funniest person in your family. You have a lot of brothers.
Oh, no.
But you're the only one who gets paid.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's my parents. When my dad my parents were the funniest people I knew. And extended family as well. We would get together for family dinners, and these folks were hilarious storytellers. And I'm like, can I get paid for that?
Well, you do. You made a successful career out of it.
Thank you.
So tell us, Leighann, how
can and it's trying to figure out how I turn the corner with it.
So how can we see your videos? Veryfunnylady.com, is that right?
That's my website. Feel free to follow me on YouTube. You can find me there at Leighann Lord Comedy. I have a modest following, curated for those who have a discerning taste in comedy.
Well, and we are out of questions. So
questions. Well,
I think we're going to end up closing out here, but we do want to mention something for everybody while you're stuck at home. Friend of FFRF, Hemant Mehta, you may know him from his blog over at The Friendly Atheist, is on Jeopardy this evening. There he is with Alex Gregg. So we're really excited to watch and see what Hemant does. No pressure at all, but we absolutely expect it. And we'll disown him.
That's great.
Wasn't he on our show last week or 2 weeks ago?
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I almost forgot to mention, if I can.
Sure.
Please do.
My stand-up comedy anniversary was yesterday.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
Happy anniversary.
Yes, 28 years.
Wow.
And so to celebrate, I know, I started when I was 5.
Yeah, of course.
To celebrate this Friday on Facebook, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm doing a small watch party, meaning it's a short video that I'll be doing a watch party with. And then after that, I'm going to live stream. I'll be talking about comedy, how I started, good shows, bad shows, answering questions, and just having fun. And it's a BYOB.
And that's Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern.
That is
On your
Friday,
Facebook
April
page?
3rd, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time
And on your
Okay.
Facebook page?
Wow.
Can I just punch in from
on my
over
Facebook
here?
page. And then I'll do it again for Instagram on Saturday.
All right.
Great.
From the control room here, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and for you three for hanging in there with our technical problems. I want to let everybody know we're going to keep doing this and we're going to get better week by week. So keep coming back. And Leighann, thanks. Oddly enough, from New York City, your signal looks better than either the two coming from Madison.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Wow,
listen,
okay, well.
if we have nothing else here, we have to have Wi-Fi.
Well, I don't think we could do a
Well,
better show than this, Bruce. This was great. So I guess we're out of time.
Content-wise, Dan's right. Well, hang on, Dan. Content-wise, you're right. We are going to get better on the technical side of things, absolutely. And we are going to roll out other video channels for FFR, doing like Parker one morning, things like this. We're going to be experimenting while we are away. So keep an eye out for that.
Well, thank you, Leighann. Thank you,
Thank you
Andrew.
for having me.
Thank you, Buzz and Bruce. Thank all of you for watching FFRF's Ask an Atheist on Facebook Live. And if all goes well, back again next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Central, for another episode, Ask an Atheist.